so strongly with destiny through the depths of your essence, but it's in your head. And it's like people outside of your head try and tell you how you gotta be, and deter you from showing up authentically. You catch yourself starting to believe the shit, like blah blah blah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Niah's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. I'm a tarot reader and artist. Welcome in if you're new, welcome back if you're subscribed. First of all, my birthday is tomorrow. Shout out to everybody who's already been telling me happy birthday. I've been so busy, it's actually insane. I'm gonna set aside time likely next week to go back and respond to all the comments from like this past week. There's a lot of them, so thank you all for the support, for the engagement. So today we're gonna be doing what's holding you back. All right, I've been giving y'all sweet treats, carrot cake. Let's get into some vegetables today. Okay, this reading is actually going to help you to be better, to improve your life. Okay, so that's the point. All right, so today we're gonna be doing what's holding you back. All the information to book and all that is down below. Oh, also I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, so once I reach 2,000 subscribers I will make all my readings 50% off, so stay tuned for that as well. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already so you can get there faster. Okay, other than that, go ahead and choose your photos so then I'll meet you in your reading. Hello, Power One. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome to your reading. I am AniyahJelisa, your host on Niah's Notes. All right, so today we're going to be looking into what's holding you back. All right, let's just jump straight into it. It's that damn phone. Yep. Yep. I think this is the only, this is the only picture that she's holding her phone in it. Yeah, it's that damn phone, baby. It's that screen time. Okay, you could be spending too much time. So it's gonna be different for different people. Okay, take it how it resonates. Some of you are just actually spending too much time like doom scrolling. Like maybe you are, like for example, let's say that you have things that you need to do, whether it be like you need to, I don't know, wash the dishes or take your dog for a walk or do your hair or do an assignment or do something for your business or exercise or whatever it can be. And instead of doing those things that are actually important and that are going to help you in life, you end up just doom scrolling or watching Netflix or watching YouTube or, you know what I'm saying, like scrolling on Instagram, like things like that. Just really like the screen. It's not even like the phone itself specifically. Some of you could spend too much time on your iPad or watching TV. You know, take it how it resonates. Some of you could spend too much time playing video games. Okay, there's just an emphasis about like a screen here. Screen time. Too much screen time. It's that you like it's an energy of like you're wasting time. So this could be one of those things where you feel like you're always busy or you never have enough time to do everything that you need to do, when in reality you do have the time. It's just that you're wasting it on screen time. You're wasting it on just other things to like kind of distract you or soothe you. I get the vibe that you could also be like actually busy though, and like you could kind of you could fall into the trap of being too much on your phone because you feel overwhelmed with everything that you have to do. And so sometimes it's just easier for your brain to just fall into like scrolling or watching TV or something like that, or playing games, because it kind of is self-soothing your anxiety, because I feel like the amount of things that you have to do can make you anxious. And so your screen time is kind of like a coping mechanism. But what's actually going to help you to relieve that anxiety is to actually just complete your task. Like if you have a list of 10 things that you need to complete within the next couple of days, your anxiety is only going to get worse if you just waste time and then let it all build up at the end, versus everything that you complete is going to ease your anxiety more and more. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's definitely a need to really get a grip on your time management here. Yeah, time management is like a big one. What's holding you back is like a lack of proper planning on how to spend your time. You could also not have like a set morning routine or night routine. And like, I don't believe that you need to necessarily have a routine for like your whole day, every single day. But I think at least in the morning and at night, it's important for you to like wake up and make yourself a to-do list, or like plan out how you want to spend your time, or how you want to like break up your day into chunks maybe, or do this the night before, so that when you go to sleep, you wake up, you already have this mindset of like, okay, today I'm going to do this, this, and that, and I'm going to prioritize this, this, and that. I'm also getting that your priorities could need some work as well. Outside of like the screen time thing, there could also be other hobbies or habits that are taking up your time that are really just not that important. So for example, this could be that you always want to be like outside, like maybe you have FOMO and like a fear of missing out, and so you always say yes to everything that you're invited to when really you have things to do. So, you know, sometimes you might need to say no to hanging out, or I don't know, you might have a habit of, you know, partaking in God's lettuce or drinking or something, like something that ends up kind of distracting you or taking away from your time, okay? Some of you need to get better grips on your time in terms of like boundaries with other people, so you can find yourself doing a lot of favors for other people, or yeah, I'm specifically getting like favors. So I don't know if some of you are like aunties or uncles or something, and like your siblings might ask you to watch their kids, or like there might be a thing of just somebody asking you to do favors for them, like, oh, can you go to the grocery store and get me this, or can you go and do that for me? And it's like, the favors themselves, it's not that you don't want to do the favor, you've been saying yes to the favors, but it's just the fact that like your time is valuable, especially if you are busy in this phase of your life. You really just don't have time to be doing favors for people. No shade, like it's nothing against them, it's just like I feel like you have a lot on your plate, pal one, because what's holding you back is your time management. So it's like you don't really have time to just say yes to everything. That's what it is. Like there needs to be like stricter boundaries on, again, how you're spending your time and what you're saying yes to. You could be saying yes to a lot of things, and by you saying yes to those things, you're like inevitably like taking away time and energy that you could be spending on things that are going to benefit you more. Okay, this is definitely you're needing to be more selfish. I feel like this is partially like your own just like running from your problems with like the screen time stuff, but then I also feel like for some of you there's like a sense of people pleasing and like not wanting to disappoint somebody or not wanting to tell somebody no, you know, and so you end up giving your time away to things that are really not even important to you, or really not even a priority for you, or things that shouldn't be like at the top of your priority list. Okay, there's a need to create stronger boundaries around how you spend your time. Okay, especially for those of you who are in school, like if you're in college or if you are trying to run a business, those things require a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? So if your grades are slipping, or if you are not as far as you want to be with your business, it's because of your lack of time management. Like if you could just like rein in your time and like really use your time strategically and wisely, you would be like a lot farther. Like you could get a lot more done, you could get ahead of your assignments, you know, things like that. Okay, so that's what I have for you from the image that you selected. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards and see what additional messages we have. All right, if that is resonating with you so far, then definitely go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. All right, Spirit, what is holding back pile one? What's holding pile one back at this time? Spirit, what's holding pile one back at this time? What is holding pile one back? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so we have death, but that's not the first one. The first one that came out is the King of Wands, and then this one is the Ten of Swords, and then we have death. Yeah, we have, this is literally everything I just said. The Three of Cups. Yeah, pile one, you gotta learn when to say no. The Two of Swords, I can't make this up. This is literally everything I just said. And the Page of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So it's like, with the King of Wands, it's like I feel like you want to be in like some type of leader authority position. So like I said, like some of you could have businesses, or you're trying to increase or further your education. But there's just like this energy of you being indecisive about like how to really move that forward. You might even be thinking that you're not doing enough, or that like there's some type of technique or skill that you just haven't stumbled across yet or haven't learned yet. But in reality, like a lot of it has to do with your time. Like there's literally a photo of her like just laying in bed doom scrolling. Okay, and it's like, this is really like self-sabotage, if I'm being completely honest. Like it's really not that you don't have the skills or that you don't have the tools or the resources. It's just that you're self-sabotaging the tools that you do have. I was also getting earlier, I didn't say it, but something else that this is making me think about is that this could be you spending your money irresponsibly. And so like you might feel like, oh, I'm always in lack, or I don't have enough, or always like, let's say that you get paid every week or every other week or a month or whatever, like it's like it's like your money dwindles way before your next check, and so you end up like kind of only having a little bit of money to hold on to until you get paid the next time. And that is partially due to your choices. Now granted, I'm not here to tell you that you don't need to make more money. Like of course you can always make more money, but in the meantime, if you know that in this moment you have your check and that's it until you come up with some other, you know, creative way to make money, then You should be strategic, and you should budget accordingly and not spend all of your money as soon as you get paid and then be like left with $50 until your next paycheck. You get what I'm saying? So, and the same thing goes for your time. Like, there's a really important need here to start budgeting your time, budgeting your money, and really thinking wisely when you are making decisions. Like, I'm not saying that you need to be super, how do I say this? You don't want to become super strict to the point that like you're falling into a like mindset, but you just need to be like honest with yourself about what you have and how you can use it to the best of your advantage, okay? Because I get the vibes here that you do have enough time, or you do have enough money to do the things, you do have enough money and time to do the things that you want to do. It's just that you're not using these things wisely, and so you end up feeling like you're in lack, or you kind of create a lack for yourself. Because again, if you have time to do your assignments, but you spend all that time scrolling or watching YouTube or Netflix, and then at the last minute, before an hour before the assignments due, you're like, oh, I don't have time. You definitely had time. You just chose to spend it doing something else. Or this could go for your money, whereas you have money, but then you choose to spend it all on frivolous things or things that are not going to last you. A lot of you could spend your money on food. I know I do. That's my look. Okay, I've had to restrict myself to eating out once a week, because let me tell you something. When I'm hungry and I don't feel like cooking, I will hop in my car and go somewhere real quick, and then before you know it, I done spend $50 to $100, and it's like, whoa, let's reel it in, okay? Like, whoa, you get what I'm saying? So some of you guys could have like a certain thing that you like to spend money on. I do the same thing with clothes, and it's like, I like buying new clothes, but sometimes I don't need new clothes every time I get paid. Like, it's not that serious. You get what I'm saying? Or like, I don't have to eat out every time or like multiple times a week. It's okay to eat at home. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's just a need to like really reprioritize how you're spending your time and your money, and being strict with yourself. Not, how do I say this? I'm not saying to be strict with yourself as in to put yourself on like a super tight restrictive budget or a super tight restrictive schedule. I'm just saying to be strict with yourself in terms of knowing what your bad habits are. So this is not me saying don't spend any money frivolously, but I am saying if you know that you like to go out to eat 5 times a week, only go out to eat once a week, and be strict with yourself on that. Be strict with yourself on that particular rule. If you know that you like to spend your time doom scrolling or playing games or watching too much TV, then instead of, I'm not saying never watch TV or never play the game, but give yourself like 2 hours throughout the day to be on the game and to watch TV. And outside of those 2 hours, do things that are going to benefit you in the long run. You get what I'm saying? So there's balance that can still be had, but like, I'm just getting that there's a need to be a lot more intentional when it comes to your decision making, okay? With the 3 of Cups as well, be intentional about when you decide to go outside too, because you could also, I'm getting spend a lot of time and money by just hanging out with people and like wanting to socialize, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, maybe if you and your friends always like to go out to the bars and always like to go out to eat and spend money when you go out, start having some kickbacks at the house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pitch in on some pizza and a bottle, and y'all go to somebody's house and party at the house. You know, you don't have to pay for parking. You don't have to pay an entry fee, a door fee. You're not buying overpriced cocktails and food, but you can still have fun. You can still have the same vibes at like an at-home scale. Or if that's not feasible for you, then maybe you, again, need to start saying no sometimes, okay? I'm not saying say no every time, but saying no sometimes is not going to hurt you. You get what I'm saying? Especially if it's going to benefit you in the long run. With the Page of Cups here, I get the vibes that you want to be in this 9 of Pentacles energy. You want to be independent, feel like you're getting everything done, feel like you're successful and ambitious and you're self-sufficient. But sometimes you end up just kind of like doing childish things and just kind of like being naive about like the impact of your decisions. You kind of try to like, oh, it's not going to be that serious, or oh, like I'll make the money back. And like there's a difference between keeping faith and keeping optimism and keeping an open channel to receive versus just squandering your resources. Honestly, there's a fine line to walk between knowing that the money's going to come back and just blowing your money, like respectfully. You get what I'm saying? So same thing with your time. Yeah, you're going to wake up tomorrow, but if your assignment was due at a certain time, the deadline is the deadline. You know what I'm saying? So don't like justify, because I feel like oftentimes you tend to justify these decisions that you know you shouldn't be making. You justify your overspending, you justify your procrastinating, and it's ultimately hindering you. Okay, so this reading I think is gonna be pretty short. Actually, I lied. Let's pull a few oracles. Let's see. Let's just, you know, Spirit, how is Pile 1 holding themselves back? I'm not taking all those. But this card, it fell back down, but this was choice that came out. So same thing, just be intentional about your choices. But I'm gonna reshuffle again because like hella cards came out. So let's see. Spirit, what is holding pile 1 back? What is holding pile 1 back? What is holding pile 1 back? We have base chakra, number 1, root chakra. There's a need to be a lot more grounded here. Yeah, I feel like sometimes you kind of delude yourself into think like you kind of get too into the spiritualness of like, oh, everything's gonna come back, everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be fine. And it's like there's a difference between, again, having that knowing and having that faith and having that belief and just literally making decisions that are going to ultimately hurt you or decisions that are going to hinder you or hold you back, and then like relying on the goodness of the universe to like fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really fair to the universe and it's not really fair to yourself. Honestly, this is just you self-sabotaging and like trying to justify it to yourself or like, you know, convince yourself that it's fine when like in reality, what's holding you back is that mentality. You need to balance out your spiritual energy and your faith with groundedness. Faith without works is dead, okay? So you can manifest money all day, but what's the point of continuing to manifest money if you're just going to squander all of it? What's the point of manifesting, you know, the time and the peace if you're just going to squander it and not even do what you need to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So there's an energy here of like you needing to be more real with yourself and be more serious with yourself when it comes to your choices and your decisions, period, point blank. Like, stop making choices that you know are going to hinder you later and then trying to play catch up or like telling yourself that you work better under pressure. You're just anxious, babe. You're just anxious. You're just creating anxiety, and maybe you're familiar with anxiety or you're comfortable in it, and that's why you subconsciously will create it and like self-sabotage, because it may be like just a comfort state for you. You might not think it consciously. You might think, oh, I don't want to be anxious, but like your body, your nervous system might be more familiar with that energy. And so that's why you tend to keep making these decisions. And I feel like this is a cycle for you. I feel like it's something that you've been going through throughout your life. And it's like a cycle that you end up like keep perpetuating like out of like unconscious behavior. Okay. And so when every time you notice it and then justify it, you're just like putting yourself back into that loop. Okay. Let me see. We have communication, self-expression, exchange, sharing, and connection. Yeah, you also need to speak up again about your boundaries. Like, there needs to be times like if you have people in your life who make you feel bad for telling them no when they ask for favors or when they ask you to hang out, or I don't know if this might even be people asking you for money. Like, there needs to be a stance where you be like, no. And say no proudly, say it strong, because at the end of the day, this is your life, this is your time, this is your money, these are your resources, and you don't have all the time in the day. Nobody knows when their last day is going to come, and we only have 24 hours in a day. Okay, when it comes to money, yes, money is an infinite resource, but we don't always know where our next dollar is going to come from. Or you know, if you have like just a 9 to 5, you only are going to get paid so much. You get what I'm saying? So it's not your responsibility to squander your resources in the name of helping somebody else. Okay, especially when you have things that are important for you to be putting those resources towards. So definitely get more comfortable as well, like expressing yourself and expressing when the answer is no. Okay, and don't allow people to shame you or guilt trip you or gaslight you as well. For some of you specifically, this might only be like a niche group, so don't take this if it doesn't resonate. But some of you are spending too much time and money because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you're trying to hang out with people who spend more money than you when they go outside. And it might be time for you to be like, you know what, I can't keep up with these people, period. You know, if you know people who like to go out to the club every weekend and get sections and spend all this money going out to eat and stuff, and you're like, I'm in a phase where I'm trying to build my business, or I'm trying to save for this or save for that, or at the very least, like, I just want to at least have money left over after I get paid, and I don't want to blow all my money every weekend. You might need to stop hanging out with those people. You might need to express the fact that, you know what, I fuck with y'all, but I can't keep spending hundreds of dollars every weekend with you to see you. Like, if you really love me, then come to my house. Okay, and like I said, let's buy some food for the house, buy a bottle, and kick it at home. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, there's just a need to like speak up about what you need. And also, don't be afraid to ask for help, because I'm getting the vibes that you do a lot of favors for other people. So don't be afraid to ask for those favors in return. Maybe you need somebody to help you do something. Maybe you need to borrow some money. You know, don't be afraid to ask for help either. Okay, and then I can't make this up, we have grounding as the last card. Grounding, nature, presence, practicality, instability. Okay, with this Pisces, this Page of Cups energy is definitely giving heavy Pisces, but you guys could have prominent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio placements in your chart. Okay, and sometimes, because we do have Death card here with that Scorpio energy, and the Page of Cups, this is specifically making me think Pisces when I look at it, even though it technically symbolizes all three. But yeah, there's just this vibe that you really are needing to balance out your spiritual energy with your practical, stable energy, because I feel like you're not the person, like, you believe in spirit, you believe in things working out, and that's great, right? But again, don't just keep manifesting new shit just to squander it every time the universe gives it to you. You get what I'm saying? Don't keep manifesting more just to keep ending up with less because you refuse to ground yourself or you refuse to, like, be practical. The best version of manifesting is when you can combine both the physical and the material. I'm sorry, the spiritual and the material. When you can do the money spells and believe that everything is coming to you, but then also once you actually receive that money, manage it well, budget it well, manage your time well. Okay, you grateful to wake up every day, but why you waking up just to squander your day every day? You waking up every day grateful to do nothing, to just doom scroll, to rot your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, wake up and be grateful for the day, and then use your time wisely and show your gratitude through using your time wisely. Show your gratitude for the money that you have by managing it and budgeting it in a way that's going to actually benefit you, as opposed to just blowing it and then feeling like sad or anxious or in lack later, you know? So that's what I have for you, pile 1. If you made it to the end of pile 1, then comment manage because what's holding you back is your lack of, like, properly managing your resources. Okay, once you learn how to properly manage your resources, you will experience so much more peace, so much more grounded, stable energy in your life. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 1. If you enjoyed, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel so that you can join this team and catch this vibe. And don't forget, I will be doing a 50% off discount on all my readings once I reach 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, I love y'all and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. Welcome to Naya's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. So today, y'all, we're going to be looking into what is holding you back. All right, quick announcement, my birthday is tomorrow, so you guys can tell me happy birthday. If you would like to bless my Cashapp Venmo, you can. I ain't gonna stop you. And what else? I will be doing a 50% off discount on all my readings once we reach 2,000 subscribers here on this channel, which will probably be pretty soon. So yeah, those are the quick announcements. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and channel some messages from the image that you selected. So let's jump straight into it. Pile 2, immediately what I feel like is holding you back is, and don't listen, okay? Just listen. I feel like you care too much about outside validation, respectfully, and I don't want to hear. And you clicked on this reading asking you what's holding you back. You wanted to find out, so don't be in my comments like that. I don't care what nobody think. I could never care. I'm always unbothered. Clearly, that might not be true. Okay, let's have some self-awareness now. Okay, I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to help. So let's be honest. Okay, in this particular case, I feel like you care too much about outside validation, and this is I'm gonna go into the different ways that this can apply, so take it how it resonates. This is a general collective reading at the end of the day. So here, boom, some of you are too focused on finding a relationship. Like, it's giving a low-key desperate, not desperate in the sense that you're, like, acting desperate with individual people, but like the universe is giving, like, okay, like, you gonna have your person, but, like, you gonna keep asking me every 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you gonna just vibe and let me send the person to you, you know what I'm saying? For others of you, this could be that you care too much about, like, how many likes you get on social media, or you feel like, well, there's no point in me posting if I'm not gonna get this many likes, or you get those many likes and you don't feel validated, or you don't feel like your post was good enough or worthy unless you have X amount of likes or, like, a certain amount of engagement. Okay, some of you could care about external validation in the sense that you might overspend on clothes or trips or something like that because you want to put off a certain image that you have more money than you do. You know what I'm saying? Some of you, and this is very specific, so only take this in if it resonates. Some of you are staying in a relationship in which you're really not even happy with because this person looks good on paper, or because this person looks good for your image. Like, this could be the kind of person where maybe they don't treat you the best emotionally, but they spend a lot of money on you. And so, like, you know, because they're spending money, you can always keep up with the Joneses. You can go on nice trips, or you can have, you know, designer clothes or whatever because they're buying it, but they're really not even treating you that good behind closed doors. And it's like you're so concerned with what it looks like to other people that you're sticking with them for the image while secretly experiencing pain at the hands of this person. Take it how it resonates, okay? Some of you, I'm getting that you have a hard time being confident in your appearance because of outside validation, and you might spend too much time comparing yourself to the looks of other people, and that has potentially led you, some of you guys have gotten some type of plastic surgery or like cosmetic work done simply because you are chronically online and you're constantly comparing yourself to pictures of other people. Okay, respectfully, I'm not here to shame you. I'm telling you all this from love because we're trying to see what's holding you back so that you can get out of that box and expand, right? A lot of you are needing to do some deep shadow work around your sense of validation, and truly ask yourself, and don't just try to glaze over it with, oh, I don't care what people think, I don't like, stop. Like, if you're still here watching at this point, then obviously the things that I'm saying might be resonating with you. So it's like there needs to be some deep shadow work done around, like, where does this come from? Why do I crave this kind of attention? Or why do I not feel like I'm worthy? Like, really getting into it. For a lot of you, it could have to do with like your parents, like withholding compliments or withholding praise from you, or making you feel like you weren't good enough in certain ways. Or maybe your parents were your first bully. Maybe for some of you, you were in a relationship with somebody who was toxic and who purposely tried to make you feel insecure because they saw your worth and they don't want you to leave them, or they don't want you to realize your worth and realize that you deserve better. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could have been around jealous friends or people around you who were your friends or peers who wanted to humble you or make you feel bad about yourself because that's how they felt about themselves. Overall, there's this energy of like, you appear confident on the outside. Like, it's not to say that you just hate yourself or anything, but again, there's this like deep-seated, like, there's always like I guess like a questioning of yourself, or like a, yeah, I'm pretty, but, or like, yeah, I'm confident, but. In that but is something that like holds you back more than you realize. For some of you, this could also be like a fear of being perceived or a fear of being seen, whereas you might have a certain skill or talent that if you were to express it and if you were to show it to the world, it could actually take you very far, and people might have a very positive response to it, and that could actually change your life through giving you more connections. Maybe you can make money from it, XYZ, but you could be in a position where you're too afraid, you're too worried about what people are going to think, you're too worried about the critiques or the negative feedback, you're too worried about it potentially flopping when you first start, or not making money when you first start, or looking stupid, or excuse me, just all these things. And so you end up not even posting yourself, or not even showing this thing off, or not starting the business, or not auditioning, or things like that. You know, it's kind of like this energy of you kind of like counting yourself out before anybody else can, as like a defense mechanism. But really, it's just stemming from like, again, there's like this deep-seated subconscious craving for external validation, and it's subconscious. Like, I feel like consciously you think you're confident, consciously you don't feel like, oh, I'm just worried about what other people think, but on a subconscious level you are. On a subconscious level, you hold yourself back because you worry too much about what others are going to think. Okay, this could even have to do with your family. For those of you especially who are in a relationship or like married to somebody, or if you've been with somebody for a long ass time, you might not even be happy in that relationship anymore. But it's also a thing of like, if it's not a thing of like, oh, they pay for everything and I like the lifestyle that they can provide, it could also be the fact that maybe you've been with this person so long that you don't know what life looked like without them, or your parents or your family really likes them, so it's like, if I want to break up with this person, it's going to be like a big thing or a big deal because I've been with them for so long, or because my family knows their family. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there could be a lot of intertwining of like the families and the connections. You guys could even potentially have kids together, so it's like, oh, I don't want my kids to be raised in a single parent household. But it's like, would you rather them be raised in a toxic one though? Like, you get what I'm saying? There's just this energy that a lot of the decisions that you would like to make for yourself, you end up talking yourself out of due to how somebody else is going to perceive it. And, or there's things that you want to, like, you want to feel confident in yourself, or you want to like yourself for just the way that you are, but you end up feeling the need to change those things because of beauty standards, or because of what other people deem to be beautiful, okay? Especially for those of you who have gotten some type of cosmetic work done, okay? So that's what I have for you from the image. All right, if that is resonating so far, then go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel so that you can join the team and catch this vibe. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the tarot. All right, Spirit, what is holding back Pile 2? Spirit, what is holding Pile 2 back? What is holding Pile 2 back? What is holding Pile 2 back? First out, I have the Queen of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Wands. And then we have the Magician. And what is this? The King of Wands. On the bottom of the deck, we have Justice and the Three of Cups reversed. I haven't been taking reversals lately, but yeah. Okay, so you guys could have prominent Libra energy here with the Justice card, obviously. And that makes sense, because as Libra myself, I can say that Libra is a sign that I feel like I think the sun is in its detriment in Libra. And so Libras have to, oftentimes, we have to like learn how to be genuinely confident. Like we have to learn how to actually love ourselves, because oftentimes we just get pushed into these roles and people want us to be subservient to them, or they want us to be humble. And we can also be very critical of ourselves. I think having that like Virgo influence of coming right after Virgo, like Libras can be very self-critical, okay? We can just care too much about what people think. And I think that's, even if you're not a Libra yourself, or even if you don't have Libra in your big three, that's still something that you could be dealing with, okay? With the Queen of Cups here, I feel like the overall thing, or like on a deep subconscious level, the biggest thing is, again, shadow work. There's a need to be okay with being vulnerable. There's a need to be okay with feeling insecure sometimes, or accepting that sometimes you do crave outside validation. The only way to really heal something is to address and acknowledge the problem. So if you find yourself like, because the thing about, people's in our egos sometimes, especially with this King of Wands energy, is that sometimes we don't want to admit our faults, or we don't want to admit our shortcomings. We don't want to admit to ourselves how we really feel. But it's not that you need to admit this to other people, but you need to admit it to yourself. If you're still here watching this, and if you're still resonating, you need to admit to yourself that, what, I do be caring about too much what other people think, or I do hold myself back because I don't want to get guilt tripped, or I don't want people giving their negative opinions on this or that. And I'm sensitive to critique. I might be sensitive to people telling me about myself, people talking down on me, and it makes me, want to change myself or want to hide myself, take it how it resonates. And the first step to overcoming this is to be honest about it. The first step to overcoming it is to stop pretending like everything is fine, and stop pretending like you just have the utmost confidence, when in reality, you do have your moments and you do have your days, and it's normal. You're not the only one. But if you're the only one pretending, then you are going to be the only one who doesn't ever actually get over it, who doesn't actually heal it and is able to move forward. With the Five of Swords, I would not be surprised if a lot of this has to do with other people. I really do get the vibe that people talk about you, or people say things to you on purpose to try to make you insecure, because I get the vibes that you honestly are the shit, pal, too. I'm not gonna lie. You probably look really good. You probably have a good head on your shoulders. You could be very social, have like a nice set of friends, or you could be about your bag. You could like to work a lot, or like make money, and maybe you have a business, or you have some type of creative ways that you make money, and you really are the shit. In reality, the thing is though, that because you are the shit, people seek to humble you. People might seek to make you feel less than. And I feel like you're somebody who on the inside is very sensitive, but on the outside you kind of show up with this King of Wands energy, where you kind of show up very confident, almost arrogant maybe to other people. And so people wouldn't never really know how sensitive you are. And so people, when they say certain things to you, or they critique you in certain ways, or they critique your choices or your actions, they don't really think. It's like this weird energy of like, they do want to humble you. They're saying it because they want to humble you. But at the same time, they don't actually realize how much it actually impacts you. They don't realize that you actually might sit and think about it and ruminate on it for however long. They're just saying it and then moving on. But you might take a lot of the things that people say about you to heart, especially if people are speaking on your physical appearance, or people are, asking you shit like, oh, why are you still single? Or why don't you have any kids yet? Or why aren't you married yet? Like, they might not be saying it, they might be saying it as a jab, but at the same time, it's not like they're trying to have like a traumatizing impact on you, but that's what ends up happening, and you end up internalizing a lot, I feel like. And it's really important for you to like learn how to express and like work through these feelings. With this Eight of Wands, this card can represent like a messenger, or like communication. And in your case, I feel like it's important for you to communicate your boundaries, for one, and important for you to communicate what is okay for people to say to you and what's not, for one. And for two, I feel like it's important for you to communicate within yourself and to understand how you can get out of this. Like, for a lot of you, it might be really beneficial for you to journal your thoughts and feelings about specific situations or scenarios, especially anything that you remember where like it was from your childhood and it was like a core memory of somebody saying something to you that kind of gave you a lifelong insecurity, or something where maybe that was said recently to you that you kind of like rubbed you the wrong way, you know what I mean? Or just like go jot down your insecurities and kind of like see and ask yourself where they came from, or where they were born from, or, you know, why do you feel that way about this thing? Because I feel like you are confident. I don't get the vibe that you're just like completely insecure, but I just get the vibes that like something along your path has led you to like feel like you need people's approval, or like you need their validation, or like you subconsciously feel like, you know, is it almost as if you have to ask for permission to be like show up fully as confident as yourself and be who you are, you know, unapologetically. This could also, if this is not about you having any like specific insecurities, or maybe being too like thinking about love too much, this could be that you just hold yourself back, like you just put yourself into the shadow, or you hide yourself, or because you're afraid of other people calling you arrogant or trying to purposely humble you. You might experience that a lot, where like you feel like you should be minding your business and people always go out their way to try to humble you, and because of that you might have a hard time showing up. That could be part of why you don't want to show up, because you feel like if I post myself, people are going to say I'm conceited, or they're going to say I'm doing too much, they're going to say I'm vain. And, you know, take it how it resonates in terms of the different examples that I've listed that could apply to you. But in general, either way, the common denominator in all of them is that you care too much about what people think. There's always going to be people who don't like you. There's always going to be people who think you're ugly. There's always going to be people who think you do too much, or think you don't do enough, or, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just always going to be what it is. But if you are waiting for permission or validation from other people, you're never really going to experience your true potential, you know? I like to tell the story all the time that, you know, it took me a long time to be confident in being a tarot reader, and to tell people publicly and confidently that I do tarot, because people have called me a devil worshiper to my face. To my face. People have like been completely friends with me the whole time, completely normal, chopping it up with me, and the minute they find out I do tarot, now they're avoiding me, or they're trying to accuse me of being like a devil worshiper, or being like some demonic or evil entity. And like that shit used to really hurt my feelings. Like that shit used to hurt my feelings so bad, to the point where I got to the point where I stopped doing tarot for a long time. And then even if I did do it, I would be afraid to post it, or I'll be afraid to tell people that I was doing it and really promote myself, because, you know, I just didn't want to be associated with demonic energy, you know. But eventually I had to realize, like, you know what, fuck it, I know who I am, I know what I'm not. And if a few people are going to assume that that's who I am, and that assume that of my character because of what I do, then fuck it. I'm not going to let that stop me from doing something that I want to do. I love doing tarot. Like, I don't genuinely, y'all, when I'm not doing this, I get depressed. Like, I can only stop doing it for so long before it's like a pull back to it. Same thing with art. Like, if I go too long without creating something, I will literally start to get depressed. I'll start to wither from the inside out, literally. So, you know, I've been to those points before where it's like, you know what, I'm so depressed at not exercising my passions and not, you know, committing myself to my hobbies and my business, that I don't care if you think I'm a devil worshiper. Fuck it. If you think I am, so what? You know? And once I realized that, once I started owning it confidently, I ain't never been called that shit to my face a day again, ever. You know what I mean? Like, people don't, I don't know, I think just the confidence that I have about it now, people don't feel comfortable to say certain things to me. Or even if people are not open to tarot readings, if I tell them I'm a tarot reader, they'll at least approach me with more curiosity rather than judgment. And I think that has a lot to do with how confident I am, because it's very clear when I say what I do and I talk about what I do, that I don't care what you think about it. I'm not asking for your permission. I'm not asking for your approval. This is who I am. This is what I do. Do you want a reading or not? And if you don't want one, perfectly fine. I don't push that on people. You get what I'm saying? So there's just this energy of like, really, you really need to own who you are. Own the way that you look. Stop thinking that you need to change how you look. Own being single. If you're single right now, own that. Have fun. Go out, date. Why are you stressing yourself out trying to figure out when this person is going to come into your life? Why don't you just have fun and just enjoy your own presence, right? If this is about you being afraid to put yourself out there to start your business, or maybe you just want more followers, maybe you just want to post yourself more. Stop worrying about who's not gonna watch it, and who's gonna be a monitoring spirit, and who's gonna watch your post but not like it. Stop worrying about shit like that. Just be you. Just be confident and learn how to be comfortable being you, okay? So let's pull a few oracle cards before we end the message, all right? Spirit, what is holding back pile 2? What is holding pile 2 back? What is holding pile 2 back? Spirit. partially what's holding you back. The fact that it's taking so long for a card to come out is you again trying to avoid this, trying to pretend like everything is fine, trying to pretend like you don't care, when in reality, like subconsciously and on a nervous system level, it is affecting you. Okay, but let's see. Yeah, as soon as I said that, Natal card wants to come out. All right, so first we have emotional balance, stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity. Again, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to be human, allow yourself to feel your insecurities or to feel, you know, the impact of other people's opinions and criticism and projection, and allow yourself to admit to yourself that those things hurt your feelings. Allow yourself to admit that you're not made of steel. You have a heart, you have feelings, and sometimes they get hurt. You know, it's just about understanding that despite something hurting your feelings, you don't have to actually give it the power to then impact your decisions. That something can hurt your feelings and you can still show up and decide that, you know what, yes, that judgment or that criticism or that whatever that person said to me hurt my feelings, but I don't have to move through life with that insecurity. I don't have to give them the power to change how I see myself because of whatever it is that they said. I can just allow my feelings to be hurt and then get over it and still show up as who I want to be confidently. Okay, so let's see. Important to yourself as well. Be very nice to yourself, how to, because I feel like you sometimes have internalized other people's like negative, mean tone, and sometimes you speak to yourself very mean or kind of harsh, you know. So also practice being nicer and kinder to yourself too, and stop judging yourself so much. The world is going to judge you harsh enough. You don't need to be mean. The world is already going to be mean to you. The world is already going to judge you. You don't need to do it to yourself too. Okay, you should be your own safe space. So let's see. One more card. All right, the last card that we have is creativity, imagination, expression, originality, and passion. So yes, I definitely feel like for this group, you all have something that you want to pursue or something that you want to show, whether it be your fashion, your makeup, your hair, or like if you have like a specific business that you want to start, or like a creative passion or hobby that you want to really post more about or get into. Like, don't allow fear of judgment or fear of being perceived to hold you back from that, because I just feel like it's something that you're passionate about, and like it's really gonna bring you a lot of joy, and don't let anybody take that from you. Okay, seriously, pile 2. So definitely like allow yourself to be emotional, allow yourself to be creative, allow yourself to be judged without really giving a shit. Like, you know, like practice getting over it, practice really truly not caring. Now, don't just say you don't care, but practice truly not caring. Practice having a sense of self that is so strong that it's truly unbreakable, that no matter what anybody says to you, you're unmoved, period. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 2. If you're from pile 2, then comment unbothered. If you're from pile 2 and you made it to the end, comment unbothered, because what's holding you back is that you be too bothered. Like, you allow people to bother you too easily. You need to be more unbothered about the world and its opinions. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to the channel so that you can join the team and catch this vibe. And don't forget that I will be doing a 50% off sale on all of my readings once I reach 2,000 subscribers on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe. Other than that, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. Welcome to Naya's notes. So today, y'all, we're going to be looking into what is holding you back. All right, this is a vegetables, okay, type of reading. If you're new to my channel, I call the insightful, more serious readings vegetables, and like the more entertaining, lighthearted ones, sweet treats. Sometimes you have carrot cake, which is a mix of both, but today it's mainly going to be veggies. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to be channeling some messages from the image that you selected. My birthday is tomorrow, October 17th, so guys, tell me happy birthday. If you would like to bless my Cashapp Venmo, you can. It's not required, but I would definitely appreciate it. And what else? Oh, I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. So once I reach 2,000 subscribers, I will be doing a 50% off sale for all of my readings. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out, okay? Now, with that being said, let's get into it. The first thing I get that's holding you back, pile 3, is that sometimes it's you giving too serious. It's giving too strict, okay? I know that you are on a very strict program. Okay, if you're here at pile 3 and you feel like, oh, I'm not that strict, or I don't have a lot of standards, I don't have a lot of rules and boundaries, this is not your pile. Pick another one. Okay, because immediately that's the first thing I got is leaving. It's a very strict program around here. However, it's coming across a bit too uptight. Okay, you might be respectfully, all right. Throughout this whole reading, there is this vibe of like, you know, people wanting to reject what I'm saying, but it's like, come on, girl. Do you want to improve or not? Okay, it's going to require some self-awareness. It's going to require putting that ego down. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's have some self-awareness, okay? No need to be afraid of your reflection, all right? So, yeah, for you all, I just get the vibes that you all like to control outcomes. You like to feel like you're in control. I'm getting heavy earth sign energy from this pile, so you guys could be have prominent Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn placements. You don't have to, but I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. I would not be shocked at all, because it's just giving very stable. Like your energy is coming across to me very stable, very secure, but also very strict, a little bit boring, giving a little bit uptight. Sometimes you don't know when to just vibe. Like, you don't know when to just have fun. Like, everything doesn't have to be hard. Everything doesn't have to be super strict or like planned every time. You get what I'm saying? I have this artwork that I created. It's called Alignment Over Productivity. I'm actually going to start selling prints of it pretty soon. I'm just waiting on my prints to actually get here, because I don't want to start selling anything until I have it. Like, I don't know. I don't believe in pre-ordering. I'm not going to take your money unless I can go ahead and ship the stuff. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, I created that piece because I also have heavily prominent earth dominant chart. And sometimes I'd be like doing so much. I like force myself to try to complete so many tasks. And it's like, girl, can you just vibe? Like, when's the last time you just vibed? When's the last time you just had some fun? You get what I'm saying? And so, you know, take it how it resonates. This is going to apply for you all in different facets of life. For some of you, this could be the fact that you always say no to parties and hangouts. You never hang out with your friends because you're always focused on just, maybe you're in school and you're always focused on trying to do the best you can on your assignments, or you work a lot and, you know, you're always working on your business, or you're at your literal job. And so you say no to everything. And it's like, damn, can you, like, what's the point of making all the money if you're not going to have fun? What's the point of being in college if you're never going to have fun? You know what I'm saying? Some of you, this is about in regards to the way that you date. You might have such a strong list of like standards and boundaries that you really just end up isolating yourself, and you really just end up like repelling everybody who might be interested in you. And I'm not saying to settle for things that make you uncomfortable or, you know, are toxic or dysfunctional, but everybody, like, you know, sometimes people who like, they're like, oh, I date to marry. Why? Why would you only date somebody who is marriage material? Sometimes people can just be around for a good time. And I'm not saying to partake in casual sex if that's not your thing, but what I am saying is that everything don't have to be so serious. Everything don't have to be so strict. You don't have to say, well, you know, if this person isn't the person that I would marry and have kids with, and I have nothing to gain from being in connection with them. That's not true. Sometimes you can have people that you date where it's like, okay, yeah, this might not be my long-term partner, but I'm having fun with them. Maybe I like the conversation, or maybe we go on good dates together. Maybe they are introducing me to new things. Maybe I can learn something from them. Maybe I can simply just have fun with them. Okay? Same thing with your money. You know, take it how it resonates. I'm going through some different scenarios. You find out which one is for you. But some of you guys could be very strict with your money to the point where it's like, what's the point of having the money if you're never going to have any fun with it? What's the point of, you know, you working so hard and building your savings account or building investments or building businesses if you're never going to actually enjoy any of the money? It's okay to take a trip. It's okay to go out to eat. It's okay to go to the bar. For some of you, this could be about your fitness. You could be super, super into your fitness journey, and it's like you never want to go over your calories for the day, or you never want to have a drink because you're like, no, I can't waste calories and alcohol, or you know what I'm saying? Like, or no, if I drink alcohol tonight, then, you know, my workout tomorrow is going to be fucked and my muscles aren't going to grow tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one time won't hurt you. So I'm not saying this to say that you need to just completely derail yourself from your goals and from your routines and from the practical things that you have implemented in your life, the systems that work for you. I'm not saying to just deviate from them completely, but I am saying that it's okay to just have fun sometimes. It's okay to just vibe. Every single day does not need to be perfect. Every single day does not need to be a productive day. Every single connection does not need to be the one that leads to marriage. Okay? Every single dollar does not need to be saved. Okay? Pile 3. So overall, like, the vibes here was holding you back is actually like you're very rigid. You're very rigid. It's hard for the universe to surprise you or to give you unexpected blessings when you're trying to plan out and control everything. Every dollar that comes in and out of your account, or every hour that passes by, or every connection, you're trying to like control all these situations and all these scenarios. Okay, what you're doing by this is actually showing how much you don't trust the universe. Is giving to the universe, is signaling out the energy that you don't trust. You don't really have that much faith because you're not really leaving any room for serendipity. You're trying to control everything. Okay, and there is a fine balance of like, sometimes people are too spiritual and they trust too much and they don't actually have any like practical plans or budgets or managing skills of their resources, where it's like, okay, those people need to learn how to ground themselves. They need to learn from you, right? They need to learn how to be more grounded and more practical. But you are on the opposite end where you need to be more spiritual. You need to be more serendipitous. You need to trust and just have blind faith a little bit more and just have fun sometimes, and don't always think about the long-term consequences. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm not saying to blow your savings account. I'm not saying to just drop out of school. I'm not saying to just keep calling out and lose your job. But I'm just saying, like, calling out once is not going to hurt you, okay? Going out to that party and you know, it's not going to hurt you. Going out to eat that one time or buying yourself something nice once is not going to hurt you, okay? So that's what I have for you, pile 2. Or just, like I said, having fun. I mean, pile 3. Just having fun with somebody who may not be marriage material. It's not going to kill you, okay? You're going to be fine. And if anything, I feel like it's going to give you a lot of joy that you probably have been missing, okay? So that's what I have for you from the image, pile 3. If you're enjoying so far, definitely go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some tarot to see some more. All right, so Spirit, what is holding back pile 3? What is holding pile 3 back? What is holding pile 3 back? I was also hearing when I was channeling Go Gina by SZA, specifically the part in the chorus where she's like, them jeans, they must be uptight, mama. You need some get right, mama. Go Gina, go Gina. Go till you get right, mama. So there, yeah, just like relax. Relax. Okay, so let's see. Spirit, what is holding back pile 3? What is holding back pile 3? Yeah, first we have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, you also might be convincing yourself that like you'll have fun after this, or you'll do fun things when that, and it's like you only have one life to live, you man, you know. King of Cups. What is this? 6 of Cups. King of Swords. And one more card. This is the 9 of Swords, okay? And then on the bottom of the deck, I can't make this up, y'all. We have the 8 of Swords. You think that you're like controlling everything, is like making everything work out for you and everything is just gonna be perfect, but really this is really stemming from anxiety. It's really just stemming from the anxiety of like being in unfamiliar territory, because in reality, when you're in a relationship, you have no clue what that person is doing when you're not around. You have no clue if they're trying to play you or not. People can appear to be genuine and then maybe it turns out that they're not. People can lie, people can cheat, people can betray you. And so in order to make yourself feel safer in relationships, you'll build up these long lists of standards and boundaries, and really it's just an emotional wall that you're using to try to protect yourself, right? And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But again, if you're doing it so much so to the point that you're like repelling everybody, then you're really just working against your own goals at that point, which is to attract a healthy partner, somebody who you actually would enjoy being in connection with, who's not going to hurt you, right? Even that person, you have to be open enough to receive them, right? You have to know there's a fine balance between like repelling those who are not meant for you, but still having enough space and keeping your heart open enough and your life spontaneous enough to meet new people that are right for you, right? Same thing about money. You might have come from a poor family, or maybe you've seen your parents squander money, or you just seen like financial burden, or you've experienced it before in your life. And so now you might be the type to be really frugal, or like to save everything and invest in stuff. And on paper it might look great. It might look like, yeah, I love the way my savings account looks, or my investment portfolio, or I'm always working because I do enjoy my job. But you're also doing it from a place of anxiety, from a place of being afraid to be back in that place of being broke or not having enough, right? So that's why you could be afraid to spend some money. For those of you where this is about your time, let's say that you're, especially if you're like in college or something, there's something here about you being afraid of like, you're really afraid of failing your class, or getting poor grades. So you end up like spending a lot of time or dedicating a lot of time to your assignments, maybe even more time than you really need to complete the assignments, because you're like, no, let me just study. Like, let me just do all this extra stuff in order to secure my grade, when really it's just like an anxiety that like, you know, what if I'm not as smart as I think I am? Or what if I get a bad grade? You know what I mean? So there's this energy of you really seeking to like try to control your outcomes and control like your physical reality too much. And again, it's like you think that you're helping yourself, but really this is stemming from your anxiety. And what's actually going to be the most beneficial is to have a balance, okay? Of both. With this like have a balance between like your logical and your emotional energy, okay? With the 7 of Pentacles, I'm also getting the vibes that what's holding you back as well is like trying to wait until certain things are perfect for you to like allow yourself to do something. It's like this vibe of like, oh, I'll allow myself to, I'm not gonna have, you know, intimacy until I'm married. I'm not going to allow myself to experience that unless I'm married to the person. And, you know, I'm not here to say whether that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that maybe that's not actually what you want. Maybe that's just a defense mechanism of you convincing yourself that, well, if somebody is willing to marry me, then they probably are not going to hurt me, and so therefore they'll be safer. When in reality, yeah, marriage is cool. I definitely think people should get married, especially if they plan on having kids together or buying properties together. But the marriage certificate is not what makes or breaks a relationship. A marriage certificate is not what determines if somebody's going to be a good partner to you or not. So, you know, putting these rules and stipulations on it might just be holding you back. Or this could be a thing where it's like, okay, I'm not going to buy myself something nice until I saved up this amount of money. And it's like, maybe the amount of money that you want to save in order to allow yourself to have that is like an amount that is like, you don't need that much money in order to be able to spend this much money. It's like if you have something that you want to buy that costs like $300, you're telling yourself like, I'll buy that $300 thing once I save $5,000. And it's like, is that great? Yeah, sure. But you don't need to have that much money in your account in order to spend $300. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you are in a space where you only have $1,000, then yeah, maybe don't spend that $300. But if you have two, you can spend the $300, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's just this, you're being a bit too rigid, and you're being asked to like open up to just new experiences, open up to spontaneity, open up to experiences where you're not in control of it, or you don't always know how it's going to work out. And, you know, respectfully, you need to do some shit for the plot. It's giving boring, it's giving jaded. Honestly, your energy comes across bitter. Your energy comes across jaded and bitter. It doesn't come across like, oh, I'm just, you know, on top of the world and I just know I'm such a boss. Like, no, it gives, I'm actually scared. I have not worked through my trauma. I'm insecure. I'm a little bit bitter. Things have hurt me in the past and I'm scared now. I'm anxious. So I'm trying to just control everything and control my environment the best that I can so that way I don't get hurt. That's what it's giving. And I'm not saying it's giving that to other people. I'm saying it's giving that to the universe, right? So that's what's holding you back. With the Six of Cups here, I get that a lot of this could have stemmed from your childhood. Like, maybe you feel like some of you could have had very like, because this pile I'm getting like type A vibes for sure. Like, I'm very much getting type A. Okay, so for a lot of you, you could have very type B parents, or you could have been raised by people who are very type B, people who are all over the place, or who can never stick to something long term, or who can never commit to something, or who can never build for themselves. And I feel like that gave you a lot of like disappointment and anxiety, especially if this is like the people who actually raised you, like your parents. And so I think that your version of trying to break the generational curse, but also like kind of emotionally cope with that, is to go to the deep end where you like are super really in control. And again, it's just like stemming from like not the best place. Okay, it's not that you're doing this, this has nothing to do with you like trying to hurt anybody else, but it's like, it's just, you're building up these defensive walls, but they're just around yourself. You're really only hurting yourself with this energy. Okay, you're just preventing yourself from experiencing a lot of things, or like building a wall around yourself, or like not really being receptive to the things that the universe wants to offer you. Okay, and I'm also specifically getting experiences. Like, again, even if you're not the type to want to do casual sex or want to blow all your money or whatever, like, there is this vibe that there's still some things for you to experience that are going to help you to grow as a person, that are not necessarily going to come from long-term things. You know what I'm saying? Like, short-term things are still beneficial. I think that's another thing too. Like, you might be too focused. Okay, sorry, my phone, I run out of storage. But yeah, I was saying like, you might be too focused on like everything being long-term, and like not just appreciating like the short-term experiences that are also meant to like add into your life. Okay, so we have here solar plexus chakra, solar plexus. Again, there may need to be a need to now that I'm seeing both of these cards here, there definitely may be a need to connect with your inner child, and like I said, to just have fun. Just have fun. Like, please stop being so uptight, especially if if you're literally like, honestly, respectfully, if you're like under 50 watching this, why are you being so uptight? Why are you being so uptight? And look at what we have: relationships and base chakra. Especially, you're being super uptight in regards to like your relationships and your intimacy, and like it's with this base chakra again, like your stability, your money, your time, like the physical, again, your physical reality. Like, I can't make this up. The bottom of the deck, we have faith. Mind you, I didn't even look at the bottom of the deck in this deck for the other groups, but this says hope, support, miracles, and spirituality. Yeah, you guys need to be more faithful. Okay, just have some fun, relax, just surrender a bit to the universe, please. Okay, please have some fun. Okay, have some fun. Do something purely just for the sake of experiencing joy. Okay, please take yourself out to eat. Please hang out with your friends, hang out with your family. That person that's been asking to take you on a date, maybe you're not going to marry them, but who knows? Maybe you have a good time on the date with them, okay? Maybe you guys will just have some good conversation, some good wine. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Maybe you can call out of work one day. You don't want to go there anyways. Rest your body, pile 3. Have some fun. Loosen up. Lighten up, okay? You are so determined. You're so ambitious. You will reach your goals. You will. Like, that's not even a thing. You taking a break or taking a pause is not going to stunt you. It's not going to hold you back, okay? And you being super uptight and super rigid is not going to get you there any faster, okay? So, with that being said, that's what I have for you, pile 3. If you're from pile 3, then comment uptight. Yeah, if you're from pile 3, comment uptight, because that's what's holding you back, is this uptight, super rigid, I want to control everything ass energy that you have, okay? So that's what I have for you, pile 3. If you enjoyed the reading, then go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that I will be hosting a 50% off discount on my readings once this channel reaches 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe so that you can make us get there faster, so that you can also keep up when the sale happens, okay? So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I hope that you enjoyed. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.